Friends, I'm back with another machine on the Tryhackme, which is basic pen testing. As you can see, this is the machine that allows us to practice web app hacking and privilege escalation. This machine is easy level, and I've already spawned the machine earlier, and this is the IP address of the targets. As always, I'd like to use the Kali Linux to do this penetration, which is running inside the VMware. Before we start today's journey, if you don't mind, please subscribe to my channel and leave a like below. You're greatly appreciated. So without further ado, let's just get started, because a variety of techniques can be learned and practiced with this loom. For example, we need to use the map to do the surface enumeration, and also we need to use the debuster or the GoBust to do the directory enumeration, and also will involve the hash cracking with the John the Ripper too. And finally, we need to learn how to enumerate Linux, and then finally how to escalate our privileges. So without further ado, let's just get started. We can switch into the Kali Linux VM. As you can see, I've already done the map scanning with the UI options like scene scan, the version scan, the default script scan, and use the option of the capital PN to tell the map not to do the live testing with this target, and output the result into this file by using this option ON. From the maps, of course, the IP address has been changed. As you can see, the target has several open ports. The first one is 22, which is running SSH service, and also the corresponding version information. As we know, this version doesn't have any vulnerability. The second one is 80, which is running HTTP service, and also the version information, which is Apache 2. And the next two are used by Samba service, which allows to exchange and share files between different machines. And the next one is 8009, which is running. Of course, the map is not so certain about the service information. And the next one, or last one, the 8080, which is running HTTP, and also has already told us the actual application information, which is Apache Tomcat. So what we are going to do next? We need to do the enumeration. Just I mentioned in the other videos, if you can follow along my channel, if the target has a service running, like like the Samba service, like FTP service, for example, like NFS or network file sharing service, such a service should become our first choice to enumerate. In this case, should be Samba. So how to enumerate? We can use the utilities SMB client, and with the option of capital L, and we can copy the IP address of the target. We can copy from the notebook and press enter. It failed. Sorry, maybe I need to make sure the target IP address is correct. However, this is not correct, so we need to do it repeatedly, and we can paste in here, press enter, and we can put the password of my own machine. As you can see, there is one share. The name is anonymous, and of course this one is a default one. We cannot get anything interesting from such default shares. And the next, we can use the same utility SMB client to access this share. SMB client and the // and we can paste the IP address again, and we need to put the share name. In the end, press enter, pass the password again, and we can use the command ls or list files on the target. There is just only one file, which is staff txt file. We can use the command get to download this file onto our own machine or Kali Linux. It's done, and then we can quit from the Samba session or collection. We can cut out the staff text file announcement to staff. Please do not upload non-work related items to this share. I know it's all in fun, but this is how mistakes happen. This means you too. And I think from this file or announcement, we can tell there are two possible usernames, right? We can, I've already, sorry, maybe I need to remove. So, we can note down some key points when we do the pen testing along the way, right? For example, the username should be K and Jen. This is, of course, at this moment, this is a very reasonable guess or deduction, okay? So what we are going to do next, I think we have already done almost everything with the Surface Samba. Next, we need to move forward to the next open port. We can cut out the map scanning results again. I think the next one is 18. And we can launch our browser and put the IP address of the target into the address bar. Undergoing maintenance. Please check back later. And however, very, very important when we do the enumeration with web application, we need to check some source code of this page. Sometimes, especially for the CTF-like machines, often contains very sensitive information. For example, here, there is one comment. Check our dev note section if we need to know what to do work on. Okay. So I think there must be some, another section or directory to be more correct term, the dev. So we need to find out this dev section or directory. So now, next we need to check whether this site has a robots file, right? Not found. Next we can use the Nigato to do the enumeration. I always use the Nigato to do the enumeration, web application enumeration. This always shall be my first tool to enumerate. And we can copy the IP address of target again, because this is very difficult to remember. Press enter. And at the same time, to save time of this video, I'd like to answer some questions in this room. For example, deploy, of course, we have already completed this task. And find the surface exposed by the machine. We have already done that. What's the name of hidden directory on the web server? And name without slash. So this is what we are doing now. We need to use the two, the Nigato, and later we can use the GoBuster or DearBuster to do the enumeration. I'd like to quit from the Nigato. In this case, we cannot get any information. I mean, the interesting information from the perspective of the exploitation. So next, we can use the GoBuster. Also, you can use the DearBuster rather than GoBuster. However, for me, my most preferable tool for the directory brute forcing is GoBuster, and followed by dir command, because GoBuster can do a lot of things besides the directory enumeration. And we can put the IP address of the target again. Sorry. And we can copy the IP address of the target. And then we need to specify the word list. And as always, I always use the word list of Dear Buster. And we can specify the extension option. Something like that. You know, the Dear Buster word list is always my first one to do the directory enumeration. If this one, because this one can work for most circumstances. Of course, in very few occasions, we need to use different word lists. And we just wait for this to be completed to see whether we can find out that hidden directory. You know, if you're not familiar with the GoBuster, we can use the H option to display the instruction. For example, here, the GoBuster can do the available commands like directory enumeration, and also can do the DNS subdomain enumeration, and also can do the fuzz. Of course, when we want to do the fuzzing, the GoBuster is not my tool. I rather use the WFUZZ, WFuzz tool, and FUF. For me, the GoBuster, the most frequent usage of GoBuster is to do the directory enumeration. Okay, now go back to our, as you can see, we have already identified the hidden directory, which is development, right? So now we can go back to the loom and answer the next question, development, without slash. All right, so now I think we can access this directory with the browser development. The two files, and we can open each of them, the first one and then the second one. And this one, the 4J, I've been auditing the contents of the shadow file. You know, the shadow file on the Linux will contain the encrypted or hashed password, and also the username and other related information. And to make sure we don't have any weak credentials, and I was able to crack your cache really easily. You know our password policy, so please follow it. Change that password as soon as possible. I think here K means must mean the K, and the J means the Jen user, right? So from here we can infer that maybe this user Jen used the quick password, because this user doesn't follow the instruction of the K, changing his password. Okay, so now I think sorry. And also, before we try to crack the password, I'd like to check out the content of another file, right? This one. But I think this one doesn't give us any useful information, interesting information. Okay, so how to make a cracking for the password, and the username we have already know that, which is Jane. So this is where the Hydra comes into play to crack the password for many different types of services. For example, like SSH service. So we can use the Hydra and use the normal L option to specify the username should be Jane, and I'd like to use the locq word list locq, and followed by the service and its IP address of the target. and press enter. If you're not, of course, for me, I'm quite familiar with the Hydra. If you do not, you can, we can use the help option to display its usage and some examples. For example, help. Oh, sorry, not. As you can see, a lot of different options we can set for the Hydra. But I think the most common options include like this one, the username and the password and and also this one, the capital P to specify the word list of the password. And here also, at the bottom, you can see we can follow the examples. For example, we can crack the password for the FTP service and also the POP3. Many different types of services. And also here, tell us the supported service like RDP, Post, Greece, SSH, SMP, many. Also MySQL, and also we can do the HTTP GET or POST cracking, and also many Oracle. So many different types of service can be supported by Hydra. Okay, now go back to the Hydra to see whether we have already retrieved the password of this user. I think it will take a bit long time, so I'd like to pause the video, and when it's done, and come back. See you there. As you can see, after about 3 minutes, the Hydra has successfully retrieved the valid combinations of the username and the password. So then of course, we can use these credentials to access SSH, gem, and followed by the IP address of the target. Let's make a collection. And the password, we can copy the password and paste in here. Wonderful. We are successfully logging as the user Jen, and we can make very simple local enumeration. Nothing special. We can go back to the upper directory, and there is another user name. Of course, we have already know that, and we can go to the K directory. There is the password backup file. Of course, at this moment, we don't have permission to read this file. However, there is another directory, very interesting directory, SSH. We can navigate into this directory to see whether we have permission to do that. We can. We can list files, and even we can get or retrieve the private key. So then we can copy the content of this private key and create the private key locally on our machine. Copy, and then we can use the editor like a Vim or Nano to create this private key. Paste in here and write and quit. In order for us to use this private key, we need to change the permission first. Otherwise, you will get error. We can change mode 400 or 600. Okay, it's done. And then we can use the SSH and use the option of I, normal I, to specify the private key and the K and the IP address of the target. Press enter. Yeah, we need to supply the passphrase for this private key. All right, we can cancel. And we can use the SSH to John to or Python script to convert this private key to hash value. And however, we need to first locate this Python script, and then we can copy the absolute path and ID redirect to the hashes. And then we can use the John the Ripper to crack the password or passphrase for this hash. Yeah, very quick because the password is very simple. So then we can log in again with this private key. We just copy this passphrase and paste it in here. As you can see, we got another shell which belongs to K, and we can do the local enumeration. Yeah, we can cut out the password back file. Yeah, I think this password should be owned by this user. So I think before we move forward to escalate our privilege, I'd like to complete some tasks here. For example, use brute forcing. Yeah, I use the Hydra. And what's the username? Jane. What's the password? What's the password? I didn't note down. I should have done that. Yeah, here. And we can go back to the loom. And what surface do you use to access the server? SSH surface. Enumerate the machine to find any vectors for privilege escalation. What's the name of the other users, which is K? And what can we do? Of course, what's the password? And the password, is this one. Very long password. And we can paste it in here. Let's submit, which is correct. Yeah, even we do not need to escalate our privilege. We have already completed all tasks and questions. However, this is not the end of this video. So far, we have already got the shells of 2 users. Finally, we need to elevate a privilege to root user. In order to do that, we need to make some enumeration. For example, the first thing we can check is sudo with the L option to see whether the current user K can run the sudo. Of course, we just copy the password of this user and paste in here. Yeah, next would be very easy for us to elevate because this user can run all commands, even privileged commands without supplying the password of the root user. And we can run the sudo and run the command, the bin bash, to get the bash session which belong to the root user, and then we can get to the root directory, and then we can cut out the final flag. All right, so that's pretty much it. Even we didn't take a look at the other surface. Yeah, if you go back, sorry. Cut out the unmap. Yeah, we didn't enumerate the other two surfaces. However, we have already made the final destinations and elevated our privileges to root user. Okay, so I'd like to see you in the next one. Bye. Have a nice day.